It's time for another Dirt Daily. I'm stuck in traffic on the highway, so I figured I would do a little update video on my Ram 3500. I did service to the transmission. I changed out the stock fluid that they recommend, which is basically like an ATF, for some Amsoil transmission and transaxle full synthetic gear oil, and I really haven't noticed a whole lot of difference. Some people said I would notice a difference on cold days. I don't think that's an issue. I think it's just that my transmission, which is the G56 6-speed manual, is just getting up there in miles. I'm at over 200,000 miles, and I'm pretty good at regularly changing the oil and the fuel filters on the engine, the 6.7 liter Cummins, but I've only serviced the transmission a handful of times in that 200,000 miles. So, and I think it's just getting long in the tooth. I'm having issues getting it to shift, like when the truck is at a complete stop, trying to shift it into first or into reverse. Usually if you put it in like third, you can kind of get it to go in, but I don't know if this is an issue with the transmission itself or just the shift tower on top of the transmission. One of my buddies had the shift tower on his 6-speed kind of just come apart, and he found little parts down in the bottom of the transmission. I can tell you, when I drained the oil and I looked at the magnet on the drain plug, there was no major chunks or pieces of metal. There was some fuzz, which you kind of just expect anytime you change the oil on a manual transmission, that you're going to get a little bit of metal flake, but it wasn't like full of what I call pixie dust, where like the oil is super sparkly. I feel like there's nothing major going wrong. It's just kind of gears are getting harder and harder to shift into. So if you are a manual transmission expert and you know something about the G56, feel free to comment below. I will read through the comments and listen to anybody's advice or input. I haven't really taken it into a transmission shop to have them give it a diagnosis, but overall I'm still super happy with this truck. You can't even get this model anymore. You can't get a 3500 with a manual transmission, so it's kind of cool that it's still running good. And once you're on the highway and you're up into 6th gear, it doesn't even seem to notice any issues at all. It's just kind of the slow go, like bumper to bumper traffic like I'm in right now, that it is kind of hard to get into first and sometimes into second. It seems like after second, every gear up above that is just fine. So, and sometimes reverse is kind of a mess. You're like parked into a parking spot and you're trying to get the thing into reverse, and it just doesn't always want to go. You're like bouncing up and down on the clutch and kind of getting it into the 4th gear and then back into reverse and trying to get it to find its happy spot. So it might just be the way these manuals are after a couple 100,000 miles. All right, that's it for this Dirt Daily. I figured I'd give you guys an update on the truck. Stuck in traffic. What do you guys do when you're stuck in traffic? Listen to podcasts? Watch Dirt Dailies? Call your friends? Maybe I'll call Dave. All right, bye.